everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we're going to be attempting to predict what will happen in KWAMI'S choice using the synopsis and all of the spoiler images. However, I haven't read the show Bible or seen the leaks, so if you already know what happens, great, I'm really happy for you. But I don't want to know, and most people watch me because they also don't want to know, so we'd all really appreciate it if you could keep it a secret. If you can't leave a comment without mentioning the show Bible, then I'd rather you not leave one at all. Thank you very much. So let's start with rereading that synopsis. Tiki and Plag are sorry to see their holders so sad that they have to give up their feelings. Then the KWAMI'S make a drastic choice that will change many things in Paris. However, if you remember back in June, Tofu gave us another synopsis, so let's reread that one too. Every time it's the same thing, whether it's Marinette and Adrien or Ladybug and Cat Noir. They can never have a love story because of their secret identities. Tiki and Plag are sad to see their carriers so sad to be forced to give up their feelings. The KWAMI'S will then make a radical choice that will change a lot of things in Paris. They will free Ladybug and Cat Noir from their superhero missions and entrust their Miraculouses to carriers again. Will the latter be up to fighting Monarch? Will Marinette and Adrien take advantage of it to finally be able to declare their love? God, I bloody hope so. So with these two synopses, still haven't learnt the plural of the word synopsis, let's take a look at all the screenshots we've got and try and put them together in a cohesive order. So I think the episode could start here with Tiki and Plag on Marinette's balcony discussing Marinette and Adrien. Obviously both KWAMI'S have known what's been going on this season with the love square. It kind of started off like the first big incident, in my opinion, was definitely probably in Jubilation with the pig power and then going to see their wish for themselves in the future, and they obviously had to break away from that. In Determination as well, Adrien and Marinette kind of went on a date to the Grevin Museum, and finally at the end of the episode Marinette's like, well, Adrien's in love with me and I no longer love him. And then of course in Elation, the biggest probably love square episode for this season so far, saw Marinette and Cat Noir kiss, but then realised they can't really be together, so that was great. So things really came to a head in Elation, and I think Tiki and Plag will go and spy on the class, because they know Marinette gives the Miraculouses to people from the class, and they know if this is their plan to stop Adrien and Marinette using the Miraculouses so they can finally be together, they gotta pick someone from the class because they know they can trust those people, apart from Chloe and Lila, obviously, but everyone else they can trust. So the class are already all together in the art room, and they have another plan to get Adrianette together because they all have no life. Like, seriously, do none of you have no homework to do? But I'm also very happy we get to see Mark, so I won't complain too much. So Tiki and Plag are like, okay, Alia's used the Ladybug Miraculous, she's a definite, let's go with her again. So Plag's like, okay, well then I pick Nino. And Tiki is like, are you stupid? They are dating. Plag, do you not understand the point of this? We have to pick two people who aren't in love with each other, because otherwise they're going to have to lie to each other, which isn't going to be Gucci, it's not going to be good. We can't pick Nino if we're going to pick Alia. So Plag's like, okay, I pick Zoe because she smells like cheese. I don't know why he picked Zoe. I'm going to be interested to see Plag's reasoning, but to be fair, I don't always trust Plag's train of thought, so I'm not sure why he's going to pick Zoe at all, to be honest. So it seems Adrien and Marinette get paired together in a project and the class, because again, a lot of them do not have a single hobby combined between them, unless we're counting shipping their friends as a hobby, which it absolutely is. I do it all the time. So they celebrate, and when I say they're doing a project together, my only evidence of that is this folder Adrien holds later on in the episode. I'm assuming it's schoolwork. If it's not, I don't know what it is. So they celebrate, and I think Tiki and Plag are like, okay, Adrien and Marinette are working together on this. This is a good opportunity for them to talk to each other. I think it's time to go and break their hearts because they are sadists. So Tiki and Plag go to Adrien and Marinette and tell them, yep, you did a good job, but we're done. Obviously not telling them the real reason for this, they say goodbye, and if Tiki and Plag do not get upset at seeing Adrien and Marinette look like this, I will throw hands with both of these KWAMI'S. How dare they make my babies cry like this. So Alia and Zoe, by the looks of things, get given the Miraculous, and Adrien heads to Marinette's to work on the project. But this is Marinette, so she is a nervous wreck around him still. If you remember at the end of Elation, Adrien finally realised that Marinette used to be in love with him, and he is now using that knowledge to his advantage to try and get her to fall back in love with him, which thank God he finally knows. Like, he's seen the light. Like, all this time, well, maybe from about, like, season 2-ish, maybe season 3 from like Puppeteer 2, I did genuinely think since about then he knew Marinette had feelings for him. But like, turns out, no.
No.
Like, I just thought he knew and was being nice about it and didn't want to make things awkward. Turns out he had absolutely no idea. He's blinder than I previously thought. So they talk about the fun topic, that is feelings, by the sounds of things. And Tom and Sabine are like,
oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
I do absolutely love that they ship Adrianette, but also I am concerned with how much they ship it. Like, they were going to give the bakery away to these two 14-year-olds last episode. Like, can Adrian even bake? I've barely seen him eat in the show, let alone bake something. But I can't wait for this chat between Adrian and Marinette with all the blushing. You all know Adrianette is my favourite side of the Love Square, so I am very excited for this episode overall, but this scene in particular. However, any romance is abandoned when an Akuma villain arrives, and I don't know if it's Bob Ross or Bob Roth, whichever one is right, but the B chain indicates their name begins with a B, so until we see transmission and it's confirmed once and for all, I'm going to call them Balthazar. And side note, B is my second least favourite letter of the alphabet. Hideous thing. So Balthazar the Great has too many powers. He's got protection around his head because I'm assuming the Akuma object is in there. He's got what looks like a weird mix of venom and clout to deal quite a lot of damage, I'll be honest with you. And because that just wasn't enough, he's also got multiplication, so we end up with Balthazar Senior, Balthazar Junior and Bertie, because the youngest one feels the real need, to break away from his family and to find his own sense of identity. I assume the Akuma fight goes well and Alia and Zoe win, but I don't know, I haven't seen that bit in any of the promos yet. But this is Gloob, and by the time you're probably watching this video, they'll have shown it to us, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But I do hope the girls do a great job. I can't wait to see them both in action, working together, the teamwork, yes, and I also can't wait to see Adrian and Marinette romantically watch the Akuma fight together. What a beautiful first date. So it seems Tiki and Plag are going to be like, well, yeah, you defeated the Akuma villain, but I hate to break it to you, we just did this so our owners would finally date each other, so we're just going to have to take that jewelry back. Okay, yeah, thanks, bye. Tiki and Plag, so savage in the name of Adrianette. But I would have done the same thing, though, so I can't criticise them at all. So the traitors, I mean, the KWAMI'S, head to Marinette's because Plag just follows the smell of cheese and knows Adrian is also there, because why not? And they get to watch Adrian find the photos of himself in the bin that were presumably left there from Elation. Now, why is he in her bedroom when it's seemingly later on in the day, judging by the lighting? But Tom and Sabine don't seem to care as long as their daughter isn't dating a furry. So, in my opinion, this scene does seem a little bit odd, at least from these screenshots. I'm hoping it's going to be, good when we actually see it, but just from the screenshots, I am a bit confused. Because it seems to me that Adrian's in there without actually knowing that Marinette is up on her bed, which I guess is kind of understandable. You can't quite see onto it from when you enter in the room, especially if she's led down. So, okay, and he's, just in her room thinking she's not there, going through the trash can because he was apparently a raccoon in his past life. But then he finally notices Marinette, and Adrian seems to admit to her how he feels about her and says, will we ever have another chance? And I just... And then Marinette tells Adrian she doesn't love him. If you remember that clip we got over the summer, I'm pretty sure it's from Transmission, it fits with the scene, and I'm not okay, I will not ever be okay again. I do not think... I don't be okay. Anyway, I think the episode will actually end here on a cliffhanger because, of course, this is a part 1 like the other part 1s, like Risk, like Catalyst, they always end on a cliffhanger. So whilst other Season 5 and Season 4 episodes, because the plot's advancing more now, have largely ended on a solid conclusion with some extra questions to follow up on in the next episodes, I feel like this one's going to be a much bigger cliffhanger because, it's the end of part 1, everything will be resolved, or most things will be resolved in part 2, and I definitely feel like they're going to end it with an Adrianette cliffhanger because, trauma. For trauma. So I'm not mentally prepared for that in the slightest. The only thing, and this is assuming it's from Transmission, the only thing I'm not sure where it goes is the scene between Gabriel and Natalie. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure it is from Transmission, it could be from a different episode we haven't seen. So they seem to be talking, Gabriel seems fine with it, Natalie walks off not looking all too happy, and when she's gone, Gabriel Babes doesn't look too happy, so I'm not sure how this quite fits in with transmission. Is it the start, is it the end, in the middle, what are they talking about? Adrian probably, yeah, but is it from this episode? Not really sure. There you go, besties, that's what I think is going to happen. I think we're about to enter into a world of pain. Unless you don't care about the love square, then I guess you're gonna not care in the slightest about this episode. So anyway, besties, transmission will be airing at 8 PM Brazilian time in Portuguese on Gloob on Monday, and I will be doing the commentary video on Tuesday. As soon as I get up, I will get up and I will rise and immediately react to it. I'm wondering whether or not I should put makeup on for the reaction video though, because if Adrianette is going to be at stake in this episode, I may cry, but I also want to look my best for it, because when Adrianette's on screen, you gotta turn up. You gotta look good, you know, for Adrianette. So I don't know. I'll have a think about that though. I know it's not that big of a deal to the rest of you, but makeup's a massive deal to me. So. But anyway, besties, I'd love to know what you think is going to happen in KWAMI'S Choice based on all of the screenshots and the synopsis, and I will see you in the next one.